Welcome to the Locker, Season 4, Quattro, Episode Dos. I am your man, A. White. If I was going to say I'm sorry for being a little late, but actually an hour early. We are a little late for the 8 o'clock start because we got a special guest. I don't know if you listen to me on Sunday morning. I don't know if you listen to me at all, but this guy has guided me through this media business for, I think, almost 20 years that I've been in it. This guy's been in it since my sister was born. My sister's older than me, so, Lacey Robinson's always been, we got to have so-and-so in the locker room. We got to have so-and-so in the locker room. And so we adjusted our schedule because, some people go to bed a little bit earlier. And we just we're going to do what we do in the locker. I want to ask you this. I want to ask you, Van House is doing family duties with his children. So he will be on at our regular starting time. But our guest is going to take us up to that point. And we have another special guest who is a coach on the UK football staff coming in on the later portion of the show. And he's going to discuss some of the things that's going on, some comings and goings. I will ask you this. It's tough on me. I know our guest has done this for a long time. Your questions, please don't ask 2 or 3 questions in a row because I don't like to jump back and forth to topics because it's tough on me because your topic could get, especially with this guy on, your topic going to get 20 or 30 questions down and we only got him for an hour. We don't have a whole lot of time to go back and hash it. But at this point, nonetheless, my co-host, man, my co-worker, man, my mentor, award-winning journalist. I don't know how many accolades throw. I don't want to shortchange you any, but anyways, Larry Vaught. How's it feel to be in the locker, man? And
I like that introduction. I'm kind of puffed up here right now. That's better than what I get on Sunday morning.
Well, I tell you one difference between today and Sunday morning. You're gonna get a chance to talk today. I'm going to have a chance to talk, and you'll have a chance to talk.
All right, good. And we'll get a chance for questions, I bet, too, right?
Well, the only difference between Sunday morning sports talk and here is I don't do a whole lot of talking. I just ask the questions. I stir the pot. But since Van is not going to be here, I may join in with you in a little bit of the conversation. But you're the voice of the people, man. We want to hear the voice of the people. Especially after yesterday's game. And just so people will know, this ain't scripted or anything. You and I was talking to you right before the game came on, trying to see if you can come on because Lacey Robinson wouldn't let me live it down if you didn't come on to the locker. And you asked me what were we going to start with. I said football or basketball, depending on what happens. And neither one of us thought that basketball would do what they did. So that's where we're starting. And that was our conversation. I bullshit you not. That was our conversation before you even committed to come to the show.
Yeah, I mean, stop and think about it. Back after Kentucky got back from the Bahamas, Anthony, if I'd have told you, well, in mid-January, we're going to sit here and talk about, is John Calipari finished? Is John Calipari going to Texas? Is it better if John Calipari goes to Texas? How can Kentucky possibly not win against a team like South Carolina? How can you put Oscar Tshiebwe on the bench because his butt wasn't doing anything in Alabama? What's wrong with Oscar Tshiebwe that he's not the player that he was last year? Is Kentucky going to maybe win enough games for the NCAA tournament? Or are they going to be lucky enough to even win enough to get to the NIT? I mean, I would have never imagined things could be this bad as what they are right now in mid-January. But this team is not good. They don't play hard. They're not very well coached right now, and they're just miserable to watch.
Well, let me ask you this, though, Larry. And I got into argument. Well, not argument, because nobody argued to me because I really don't respond to a lot of people on social media. I don't have the time in the day to do it. They're saying this, and it came up on, you're saying, you said it out of your mouth. This team is not that good. You're saying these guys are not building up to what they were built to be, or you're saying these guys are not performing good. These guys not being good. Now, remember, Larry, you're talking to a guy who was kicked off the team in 96 because I wasn't good enough to play at UK. And that team was terrible. I mean, in my position, the team wasn't terrible, but my position was terrible in 96. But I was kicked off the team because I voiced my opinion, and they felt like the running back room wasn't good.
Well, I think they're not performing. I think they're not playing exceptionally hard. And I think some of them just aren't as good as what we thought they were going to be. Now, whether that's because of what's going on in the program that's holding them back from being better than what they're showing, if the system's not fitting them, whether they just have not exactly given up and maybe just kind of lost faith in what's going on, or whether they're just not as good. But I mean, one guy in particular to me is Jacob Toppin. And I think Jacob's a good player, but I never bought into the fact that he was going to be a first round NBA draft choice. I just never thought that he had that. I mean, he never showed me anything that would make me think that, because to be an NBA first round draft choice, I think you got to be able to shoot from 15, 18 feet and make them a lot of times. And that's not what he does best. And I think early in the season, he got caught up trying to shoot too much outside and not do what he can do. Plus, he's also, I don't know if you want to say fragile, but he's not a big, strong guy, and he gets knocked around and he gets hurt a little bit, and he's hurt again right now. So I think that's just not the right fit to try to make him be an NBA, play like an NBA first rounder. That's not him. I think they don't have a really great vocal leader on the court. And maybe that hurts other guys when they're not doing what they're supposed to, because there's really not one guy that's the star player who can also be the vocal leader. They just don't have that. And they just make so many mistakes. Now, I got a text or a tweet today from a guy who does a lot of analytics. And he's, I think, pointed out one thing that all fans have been wanting to kind of see. That was with Case and Wallace at point guard, Antonio Reeves and CJ Frederick at the shooting guards, Toppin at the forward, and Oscar at the center, which makes sense. Two best shooters, a guy that can play the point and play defense. You got Oscar and you got Toppin. But do you know what's Kentucky played now? 15 games, 16 games, Anthony?
What are they? Yeah, 16, I believe.
And they've struggled. So you would think a coach would kind of be trying different combinations and doing something like that.
He did do that against Alabama.
But do you know how many possessions, according to this guy who does analytics for a living, do you know how many possessions, that five I just told you, how many they played on the court together this season?
No.
20.
Possessions? Wow.
And again, this is the guy that does analytics. This isn't a pro-Cal guy. This is not an anti-Cal guy. This is not a pro-Kentucky, anti-Kentucky. This is just a guy that runs the numbers and puts them out there. And he sent that to me because it said it shocked him when he went through and saw it. And it shocked me too, because I just thought that would be something that wouldn't be the case. And I saw somebody put up on there that somebody said something about the Cal is old and that's the problem. I don't think that's necessarily the problem. I think maybe because he's younger than me, and I don't think I'm old yet. So I think I think if you said, is maybe Cal tired? Yeah, I think that could be the case. I mean, sometimes this job can get pretty wearing on you. And when you're not winning like what they have been, it can get kind of to you. Now, something I want to ask you, Anthony, because I think well, I don't think I'm guilty of this. I know I'm guilty of this. When COVID hit, before then, I mean, I hardly ever missed a UK game. I made those trips, be a 9-hour day, 10-hour day for football, 5.5, 6-hour day for basketball. COVID hit. I started staying home, started doing Zoom, not going over to press conferences. And you know what? I kind of liked it. Gave me a lot of time to do other things. And I just kind of wonder, it looks to me like over the last 2 to 3 years that I don't think John Calipari wants to win any less, but I just don't think it makes him lay awake at night anymore if Kentucky doesn't win. And to me, that's just something that happens as you continue to coach. And this is a grind that they're going through. And I think it's just hard. And right now, he just looks to me like a guy that is just kind of beat down. I mean, last night he wasn't overly animated, and he says he can't be because he can't get too hard on these guys. But that's not John Calipari. I mean, that's what he's always done, been able to motivate them and stuff. And they sure didn't come out very motivated last night.
Well, I will tell you this. We had a regional meeting today, and our discussion was advisory council meetings. And somebody said, well, our advisory council meetings supposed to be in person? I don't know it because I only been in this position for a year. I don't know of an advisory council meeting being in person. Well, as soon as they offer Zoom, first of all, you get your people to participate. They can sit in their home, like you said. They can have a snack. But if you want to come in, I will provide a snack for you or whatever. So my whole thing is, I agree with that. I wanted to dig into a little bit of that, some of these basketball concerns, and it comes back to me being a player. And Larry Vaught, you may be familiar with this name. Keel Sanford has chimed in, a guy you covered for many years. He said Cal's need to start over somewhere new, and that was my end result. That's what I'm going to get to. Not right now. We're going to get to that in the end if that's where we think he should end up. So keep that in the back of your mind, Larry. Taking in some of our followers' perspectives and what we talk about. Here's the one thing that I think when you say these players are not really good, and going off of Oscar Tshiebwe's post-game press conferences. And I told you some of the conversations I had with my teammates in football. To me, your expectation for any point guard or any drive threat, and Cal's offense has been best when you've been able to get to the bucket, whether it's been Knight, whether it's been quickly. If your point guard, now Tyler Ulis wasn't that, but he can distribute the ball, but he can break down defense. But his most success, I think the offense is predicated on you getting to the bucket and making the defense collapse on you so you can do other things. With Oscar in the paint, you can't do that. And I talked to somebody today. Tell me how you feel about this statement. Tell me if I'm way off or you can scratch your head and say, I didn't think about that, White. Tshiebwe is telling his teammates, you got to work harder like me. You got to grind. You got to go for it. First fucking of all, sorry, I forgot Mr. Vault is on here. I'm not using any bombs. First of all, you got $1 million NIL sitting in your pocket while you out here. Second of all, and this is the biggest thing I said to you years on Sunday Morning Sports Talk with us. You have the green light. Any player that has the green light has a lot different comfort. And that's where I feel when you get on Toppin, I think that's where Toppin's discomfort is. And I think that's where his lack of production is. Because I don't know Patrick Patterson may need to come to talk to him. Because whatever Patrick Patterson did his last year, he seemed comfortable stepping away from the basket, doing it. It didn't affect his production. He was more productive. Whatever PJ Washington did, I don't know, coming away, but I think Toppin knows he needs to play away from the basket and show them that. Even Oscar needs to show them that because we see that length hurts him. But my concern is the way the team is going, everything goes through Severe because he holds the ball first, and Oscar. And for Oscar to call his teammates out and say, you guys got to hustle harder. No, MFer, you getting $1 million and you got the green light that if the ball goes into you on a triple team, you can do whatever you want to do with it. And if you give it to me with 3 seconds left, I got to shoot a shot. So I'm not comfortable with Oscar making those statements because of those two reasons from a player's perspective. Am I off?
No, you're absolutely right. And I thought when Keo came on there, and I was wondering if we would get a chance to get to this because I was just thinking, what about if Tim Couch came out after a game, if you ought to get beat 40-6, and he just comes out and calls everybody else out? I mean, this is the same Oscar that had to be benched at Alabama because they were abusing him. Just abusing him. And he has to go on the bench and he sits there and pouts. It looks to me like last night, Kentucky's down 1 point, 40 seconds to go or something like it, 35 seconds ago. They shoot the ball and miss. Did Oscar go get the rebound? No. South Carolina got the rebound, got 2 points. That puts Kentucky back down 3 points. And then he comes out after the game, talks about that some people just taking things for granted. No, don't be saying that stuff. Don't be coming out and saying everybody else needs to play harder like you are. No, I think this year that Oscar has got more about me instead of we, just when I look at him. And I think it could be that maybe he's got comfortable with the NIL money. I don't know what's going on. But this is not the same Oscar as it was last year. And I don't think he needs to be out there calling out teammates or something. I didn't think anybody needed to be doing that last night with the way this team has been playing, because there hadn't been anybody, to me, that's just stood out that their energy and exuberance and efficiency has been good enough themselves to go be calling everybody else out. Now, if you come out after the football game, Anthony, and said, "Man, we just sucked as a team and we got to play better," I can do all that, because you're putting yourself in there with that. But it seemed to me, and maybe Oscar didn't mean it to come out this way last night, but it sure sounded to me like he was saying everybody else has got to play better, but I'm fine.
Let me ask you a question. 2 questions. Double loaded question, Larry. Did someone
look what Lacey said there. Yeah.
Hold on. That's why it's on the screen. Someone
okay.
several weeks ago on Sunday morning said, when we were still winning, we were in the groove. It's something about Oscar pounding his chest, doing a little that just someone on Sunday morning sports talk said, does that concern you guys? That's not the thing. The reason people love Oscar, because he was humble and brought his lunch pail to work with his hard hat. And for that vocal stuff, and I don't even think his culture is about that. So I don't know why I keep saying it. Somebody on Sunday morning sports talk said maybe he's getting Americanized. Maybe the culture of American sports is getting into him and that is changing him. And secondly, I'm going to go. So the 2 points is, do you remember somebody on Sunday morning sports talk saying that? And what Lacey is saying, was Bobby Huggins on to something? Is that what Bobby Huggins was talking about?
Well, I wrote a story this week saying that I thought the South Carolina game was the most important game that Oscar was playing at Kentucky, because it's the first time he's really faced adversity since he's been at Kentucky. I mean, everything's been pretty hunky-dory. He had said all the right things, did all the right things, unanimous National Player of the Year last year. Even when they lost to St. Peter's, nobody really threw shade at Oscar, because he played pretty good that game. You really couldn't throw shade at him. So he hadn't really taken it like some of those other guys did when they lost that game. But this year, Oscar's numbers are still good, but they're not the kind of numbers you thought maybe he would put up this year. And in the biggest games, they've not been good. And like I say, at Alabama, he just got annihilated down there, and it didn't seem to bother him. Is what kind of bothered me. It seemed like when he did come back in that it didn't bother him a whole lot. So again, it's not all his fault, the losses they've had and the way they've played, but he's certainly been a bigger part of it than what I thought. And when you have a guy like Jimmy Dykes go on ESPN and said that Oscar is not a non-factor today, he's a bad factor. Never, ever did I think we would be hearing that this year. But then again, that's a guy, he doesn't care if Kentucky's winning. He doesn't care if Kentucky's losing. He's there to do a job. He's going to get paid the same no matter who wins the game. He's just saying what's on his mind. And when he's calling you a non-factor, I can't imagine a worse comment to be made about any player in any sport than to have the guy that's calling the game say that you're a non-factor.
Let me ask you this before we move on to the next thing. Are you a proponent that we may need to move away from everything going through Oscar? And Oscar's great, but Oscar's best ability may be getting rebounds. It may be, once they start, playing a little bit tighter on the perimeter, which they don't do. They don't have to do, because we haven't shown the threat, or we haven't tried to set up anything to get perimeter shots, that maybe Oscar should say, no, let those guys shoot. I'm gonna get the rebound, man. We want people to start having to guard these guys because I know they can shoot. Or is Oscar comfortable saying, you know what, I'm gonna stay here in the block? I don't like them in the blocks, because I feel like most of our success has been when our point guards have gotten downhill, because that's what we bring in. Somebody who we think can get to the bucket. And I think Severe can do that. If Oscar's not in the paint, if we're running 5 out, I think Severe can get to the paint, or at least make somebody come over and help, because he's so quick. He's really good with the ball, and he's a pretty decent finisher. But with Oscar down there, your game plan is based off of the free throw box. Everything has to be ran outside there. So your passes have to go out there. Your shots have to come from out there. And then you just asked me, why is Toppin taking jumpers? Because that box is dedicated to Oscar.
Yeah, well, that's a fair point. Now, I will say the same guy that did the analytics and was talking said that Oscar by far has been the most efficient offensive player that Kentucky has had. But when you get the ball down there like what he does, you probably ought to be fairly efficient with it. The problem is, I think, is you're exactly right. Sometimes when he gets double or triple team, he still tries to do things with it, or he's not quick enough making the decision to get the ball out to an open Frederick, an open Reeves, where they can get a pretty easy look at a three. They just have not done that much. That's why I thought Reeves and Frederick would be perfect for Oscar. If you throw it into Oscar and he's double or triple team, he just whips it right out to one of those guys. They put it in the basket. You go down the court and you have your 3 points. But they just hadn't worked that way. They weren't taking a lot of 3-pointers last night. And it's just the offense just has not flowed very smoothly for a lot of different reasons. And now, Collins is hurt. Wallace is hurt right now. And it's just been kind of so discombobulated. It's hard to figure out. But again, I think what you're saying about Oscar is very valid. But it also worries me that I just didn't see – I saw some fight last night, but not an abundance of fight and panic and concern. I mean, I'd almost like to see somebody just shove somebody or show something out of frustration to show that they care or something like that. I mean, you don't want to advocate that, but just show – I mean, I was hoping Calipari would get a technical last night. Just show something that that you got some emotion in you or something like that. Just go and do something like that. But right now, it just seems like the emotion is not there.
I'm going to ask you this because you got an ear inside the locker room. I got 2 things. What you hearing on Wallace's injury? And who would you, if, and I don't deal with basketball locker room wise. I just deal with what I see on the court, same way I do with football. I do hear things in the locker room, but I don't divulge that with the public. But who do you think Oscar was talking to? Like, because I'm putting my finger on. I feel like it was either Wallace or Toppin.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting when John Calipari said, when he was asked about why Wallace didn't play, and he said he told me he had back spasms. You would think he said, well, he had back spasms or his back was hurt or something like that. But when he said he told me he had back spasms. Now, again, sometimes coaches say things after games that don't really pay attention to how they're saying it. And I think from all I've ever heard, Wallace is a pretty tough kid. So I would think, but it did surprise me. And you might know, but you would know better than me whether back spasms in the first half would keep you out the whole rest of the game or not. But that's what happened. And so I don't know there. We won't probably get an update on him until Saturday, but it sure hurts when he's not playing right there. But I don't know who Oscar. I think Oscar was just kind of talking in general. Oscar sometimes just talks and goes off, and that's just kind of how he is. And again, I don't know exactly what he meant, didn't mean by it or anything like that. But I just know when you come out and you talk about people are taking things for granted and guys got to play harder and stuff like that. I'm just not sure that anybody should have said, unless they said, we take things for granted. We got to play harder. Then I could be okay with that right there, or more vodka. That's for sure. That'd be okay too. I like that. Yeah. I may have to check my water bottle out here again or something right now in a minute, but yeah. So it's just a crazy situation and something I never thought we would be sitting here having to talk about in mid-January with this team being in a situation that it's in.
I will tell you this. I will say I do think that there is a point of back spasm. I thought there was somebody who reported, I thought you did an article. Somebody said it might have been Jack Pilgrim, who said he had a history of back spasm. So it is something that he has had. But there is a point where if you feel like I'm the problem, the MFer, you go ahead and play without me. Let's see how good you can do. I'm not saying he's off of that, but I do know this, and you've reported this many a times, not reported it because you reported because the news came to you, that there's been coaches in UK football that said, well, Craig East doesn't work hard. Hal Mummy asked me, he said, man, well, your boy, I said, I don't give a damn what he does. I don't care what he does Monday through Friday. Saturday, we need him out here like, dude.
Yeah.
Well, he has to do this. And, we Craig and I may have had, I didn't really feel that way, but Curry and some of the people felt like he didn't work hard. Like, dude, like when people are smooth, it doesn't come across hard. The point I'm making is they felt a certain way. I know I need this dude. I know we need this dude on the team. So we need to make it happen. That's why I don't feel like if Oscar feels like I just need anybody to get the ball into the black hole, then that's Oscar. Everybody has to defend. The perimeter has to defend. They have to get, we have to get leads for us to go into you, and we haven't had leads in a week or two. So I don't know. I just kind of I don't know who he was throwing under the bus. I did read an article that someone said he does have a history of back spasms, but I do know as a player that if you point your finger at me, well, take me out of the equation. Let's see what changes.
Yeah. I think right now there's a disconnect between players and the coach. I think there's a disconnect between players and players. I think there's a disconnect between the team and fans. And that is not a good combination to have right now, and all that's going right now.
Yeah, and my question about the fan base, we're not going to get all the way into whether he should go to Texas or not, if that's even a real thing, but the fan base says that everybody, like I said, the conversation we had before you came on the show, it was that I don't know what Cal's gonna do in the fan base. And I thought this from the beginning. I don't know if I said this last Sunday. I thought this from the beginning. What is your take on this whole Cal thing of don't get mad at the players, get mad at me? Cal, nobody's mad at the players. They are mad at you. Like, what is that just regular Cal talk? Or is that?
Yeah, he has said that after, I wouldn't say every loss that he's had at Kentucky, but he's said it after a lot of them. I mean, he said it after St. Peter's. He says it all the time, which is probably the right thing for a coach to say, but usually you just don't have to keep saying it like that. So to almost make them say, I really don't want you mad at me either like that. So yeah, I thought he kind of went overboard talking about that like last night. And I don't know exactly if mad's the right word. I think just disappointed, but it's a better word right now. Sometimes somebody can't do any better than what they're doing, but I think they're just disappointed in the overall way the team has played. And it's just kind of been a continuation. It started with the 9-16. Then you have the St. Peter's loss. Now you've got the losses that are mounting up now. And then now you've got to go to Tennessee Saturday, and that could really be bad. I mean, they could be playing Rocky Top for 2 straight hours.
So DJR says he does. Some people have said that. Some people said that. Are you expecting to see Wallace back?
I don't know. And Calipari didn't say, and he probably didn't know, in fairness, that quick after the game. But if he's had a history of back spasms and he's not missed games before, and I would think with today's training and technology, you give him from Tuesday night to Saturday afternoon, they'll have him back out there. And like I say, I still think he's a pretty tough guy. So I would be shocked if he didn't at least try to play Saturday.
I'm still trying to dig into this whole deal. About, and you and I spoke about this. The coach, and the only thing I've ever given Cal credit for is bringing in good players and getting them to get along, and put their future. Because if all your future aspirations is in the NBA, you look at the Anthony Davis team, Kid Gilchrist, and those guys. Anthony Davis was the 4th leading scorer or whatever. But the point was, if we win a championship, we're going to play more games. People are going to look at us more. And Cal got people to buy in. I think in a sense, he got Bledsoe and Wall to play very well together. I think there was a little bit, but that was his first time doing it. And I think he got them to buy in a little bit. Right now, the past couple years, I think there's been even he got my man Mintz on the bench. And I told you going into that season, I don't think Mintz should have been on the bench because the calm and the comfort he brings to you while he's on the court is something you needed. And then for a while, I thought that's what we get out of Severe. Like, long as Severe has, nobody's going to take the ball out of his hands. He's good with the rock. No, he can't shoot. He's small in stature. He can get to the bucket if it's not congested, but you don't have to worry about anybody taking the ball from him and things like that. I'm just kind of concerned. Cal's big thing right now is, like you said, there's disconnect, there's distension, in the locker room, between the coaching staff. But at the end of the day, you're a Hall of Fame coach. You're at the University of Kentucky. These guys came here for you. Whatever you say goes. And this comment is going to end back up here, and I didn't want it to end back up here. Only thing I can think of is he doesn't want to rub Oscar the wrong way.
Yeah. I don't know. I think NIL has changed a lot of that. I think maybe Oscar might not be quite as hungry as he was last year because he's got some money in the bank, money in his pocket. And I don't know. It's just, and maybe it's just like what Keogh said earlier, that maybe just a fresh start somewhere is going to be the best thing for Calipari. It'll turn out to be the best thing for Kentucky basketball. So, I mean, sometimes starting over is good for everybody. I mean, Cal's been here a long time. He's done a lot of great things on the court, done a lot of great things off the court. But, you know, I was at the newspaper where I worked for a long time too. And then I guess they reached a point where they decided, well, they didn't need me. And I'm fortunate enough that when I left, things have worked out really well for me. So sometimes when things change, they turn out good for everybody. And maybe that's going to be what the case is going to be here. But no, I'm still one. I think Calipari will be here coaching next year. I don't think he's going to walk away after a season like this and not with a recruiting class he's got coming in. I think he's still, you could say, confident, arrogant, stubborn, whatever word you want to use, but believes that with those guys he's got coming in next year, he'll go back to kicking butt.
Larry, you in the locker. I ain't going to beat you up, man, because you're doing me a solid. You're doing me a favor. I ain't going to beat you up, Larry. You in the locker. What you just said in the fan base, I'm echoing the fan base at this point. Well, he's not everybody's saying the reason we don't want to lose Cal, we don't want Cal to leave because we got a #1 recruiting class. We got a great recruiting class. When is the last time we didn't have a top 5 recruiting class come in?
Yeah, now, I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying that's what I think Calipari thinks will be and why I don't think he will leave. Yeah, I think he's had the #1.
He says that every year. That's what everybody's getting tired of.
I think he's had
the next class.
I think he's had the #1 recruiting class 7 times. And he's won 1 title, and I think he's had the #2 class 3 or 4 times. So either 10 or 11 years he's been here, he's had the #1 or #2 class. But I still think that he thinks or believes in his mind that that next year's going to be the year, that this is going to be the Anthony Davis, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist type class that he's got coming in that'll do it. But like I say, now the 2010 team with Wall, Bledsoe, Cousins, and Patterson, they didn't win the title. 2015 team went undefeated for 38 games. They didn't win the title. So you're right. I mean, there's no guarantee. But I'm just saying, I think in John Calipari's mind, he thinks next year is going to be the year, and he's not going to walk away after a season like this and let that be his legacy at Kentucky. 9-16, losing to St. Peter's, maybe not even making the NCAA this year. I don't think he will let himself walk away and let people say, well, man, look at what he did the last 3 years at Kentucky.
I'm going, before we switch over to football, before we get you out, I'm going to say this. And one of my favorite coaches that was opposition of ours for many years was Steve Spurrier. Steve Spurrier told his athletic director, you will not have to fire me. Don't worry about firing me. If I can no longer do my job, so basically that's why he walked away to the game, because he could not get his point across to the players. My 2 things are this. I honestly feel, we're going to go ahead and get to this Texas thing because we're going to go to football to take you out of here. But I feel like Kentucky needs a new beginning. He's kind of where Phil Fulmer was. Phil Fulmer had some great years. He won national championship, and he regressed a whole lot because he didn't change with the kids. Mac Brown did that at Texas. He wound up coming back, and he figured out Nick Saban. He decided to change with the culture and the way the kids are. He gave Bryce Young an NIL deal. So my point is, if Cal feels like he can keep doing what he's doing and maintain the respect he has, I just don't know if that's the thing. I think if Texas is going to take him, And the fan base is saying, well, the class he has coming in here next year is going to be a difference because he has a number one class. He has the guys he needs. I'm going to ask you this, Larry. One, I think he should leave, not because of the way things are. I mean, yeah, not because of where we are now, but because of the way things are going. It hadn't gotten better in the last couple of years. Give Texas a chance. Give yourself a fresh start. Give us a fresh start. You don't go out of here saying you ruined University of Kentucky. That's the last thing you want to do is say you broke the University of Kentucky. Billy Gillespie was on the verge of doing that, and not you, but it was came to save. So I kind of feel like he should go get himself a new start so he can get our fans off his back, and our fans can start seeing maybe we're going to miss him or not. The second part of that question is, if he does bring in next year's team and does the same damn thing,
ooh,
now where do we go?
We'll go with heads exploding is what you do then. So, and you're right. And it won't matter if John's here 1 more year, 4 more year, whenever he leaves, it's going to be a big transition. Whatever the roster is will completely turn over. And that's just the way it's going to be. So you're going to have to start over whenever he leaves, no matter which year it is. So I'm with you on that you can't say, well, we can't make a change because of how hard it'll be to start over. Eventually, you're going to have to do that, even if he just decides to walk away on his own. So there's not an easy answer to this. Some might argue, why would Texas want to maybe spend $10 million, $11 million a year to get a guy that went 9-16, lost to St. Peter's, and may not make the tournament this year? And the argument will be whether they're going to get that recruiting class. But if you just pointed out, maybe you get them all, maybe you don't, maybe they go somewhere else. I mean, I don't know. So I also think that a lot of times when a coach is feeling a little bit of heat, his name always pops up that maybe another job wants him. Sometimes that just kind of makes you feel a little bit more loved where you are. So we will see. I don't know. It's going to be a very tumultuous next couple of months, I think, and every loss that they get, it's just going to add to the turmoil, the confusion, and probably the unrest with the Kentucky fan base. Because, I mean, I know there's some that still support John Calipari unconditionally, and God bless them. They certainly should. I know there's some that don't want anything to do from now on. Then there's some kind of in the middle, appreciate what he's done, but would kind of like to see things get better and want to see some signs it can get better. But I just really haven't seen anything to make me think it's going to get better. And if they get mashed at Tennessee, I mean, you're sitting there looking at 1-4 in the SEC, and you're playing at Kentucky. I don't know how those guys have not shown me that they're the kind that just would really respond and fight and say, well, we'll just win our next 13 and go out and be able to do it. I just don't quite believe that.
Larry, you said 1-4, and we escaped the one at home
by 3 points. By 3 points.
It really wasn't. It was 3 points, but we couldn't even inbound the damn ball at a certain point to secure the victory. I'm going to say this. I'm going to let you ponder this thought. There's a question. I'm going to let you ponder that thought. But I'm going to ask you that. You said why would he want to go to Texas? I give you 2 reasons. One, Texas don't give a damn about money. Anywhere in America, Texas has the money. They want to win, and they're willing to pay to win. But if they say we spent our money on a guy that his resume looks good, and the longer he stays here, his resume is starting to flatten out. Like when he came here, that resume was on because I seen somebody arguing yesterday on Twitter about Cal leaving. A Tennessee player said we're gonna beat y'all by 40 or something. And I agree with the Tennessee guy. And the Big Blue Nation fans said, how many Final Fours you got? Like, we still doing that. It's like a Pittsburgh Steelers or Dallas Cowboys fan. Well, when's the last time you won the championship? Like, dude, you won one in the 90s. Like, so when you say if he goes to Texas, I think Texas has to spend their money on the sure hit. Is Cal the sure hit? Maybe or maybe not. But you spent your money on something that's proven. So if he doesn't hit, he just doesn't hit. But you did spend your money good. It's not like you spent it on an up-and-comer who didn't turn out. So I don't know if you read what Bruce Simpson has said at this point.
I did, and I don't know a specific coach, but I have no doubt there's a coach out there. I mean, when Eddie Sutton got the Kentucky program in the shape that it was in. They went out and found a guy named Rick Pitino that turned out pretty good when he was at Kentucky. When Billy Gillespie got the program in the shape it was in, they went out and found John Calipari, and he seems to have done pretty well. So I think there'll be a coach out there. And when he talks about all the demands at the Kentucky job, I'm not exactly sure what the demands are anymore. I mean, John doesn't always do his radio show. He doesn't do many press conferences anymore. I don't know that he goes out and does a whole lot of things with UK fans other than those few things he did during the summer. So I don't exactly know what all the demands are on the Kentucky basketball coach that are any different than what they are on any other basketball coach anymore. I mean, I think he's got to recruit, but you got to do that wherever you are. You got to coach games, but you got to do that wherever you are. So I'm not sure anymore, based on how things are, that I buy that the demands are any tougher on the Kentucky coach than they are on other coaches at other places.
I'm gonna throw this at you before, like I said, before we move around, because we got to get some positivity out of this basketball team, because this is a basketball school. I don't care what nobody say. It's actually the cheerleading school first. It's a basketball school.
Volleyball school.
I'm a Skinner's my man. You know, Skinner's your man. Skinner's my man.
School.
I'll put a hash, or I'll put a comma as volleyball. But we're gonna go rifle, cheerleading, rifle, basketball, volleyball, football. No, but really quickly before we move to basketball, what is the bright spot right now? Like right now, basketball wise, and the only thing, and I said this we've been through so much in this state in the past 2 years. Tragedy after tragedy. Cal has, and so you got to kind of separate the coach that Cal is. Can any coach come in and do what Cal did? Be philanthropy for raising funds for underprivileged people or people in ruins? It's what silver lining do we have right now? And this is not a pun at all. But the one thing I do know, that as long as Cal is here, is our players are going to appreciate the fans. The fans are going to have opportunity to see the fans or the players, and they are going to embrace the state. There was a lot of flack from a guy that didn't like the way I can't remember who the slam dunk champion was, and Shaden Sharp. Like, our fans want players to come here and play at Kentucky. You got to play, or we're not going to embrace you.
Hamidou Diallo.
Yeah, Hamidou Diallo. So that is one bright spot. You get a chance to know the players. I know they are mad that players don't stay here a long time, but the tragedies that we've had and the circumstances we had in the state, Cal has been at the forefront of that. Him and his team.
Yeah.
And you caught a lot of flack for Black Lives Matter as well. But those are some things that he's been consistent with, and I don't know if you get those from other coaches. So I do love that.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly. That's why I said he's done some great things on the court and off the court. There, with what he did with tornado relief, what he did with the flood relief just in the last year was terrific. He's great at that. When he went down to Pikeville and played the blue-white game there, and then brought the coal miner up to the game. Those are things he does great. I mean, you probably never find another coach who could do any better. And I think there's been some other coaches that have done a lot of things, maybe a little bit more behind the scenes. And I think Tubby Smith did a lot of things while he was at Kentucky, but never anything to raise money to the extent of what Calipari did, about the way he was able to make such an event out of it and all. He's been great at that. And you probably would never find another coach that could do that any better than what, or maybe even as good as what he has. So you're right. Now, if you're asking me what the bright spot is on the basketball court right now, the one I can think of right now is that CJ Frederick's back. He's making some shots, and his defense looked pretty good last night. Maybe he's going to give them that other piece to kind of go in there where they'll have some things that can fall in place and do a little bit better. That's my one bright spot on the court.
Yeah, I like the way he looked real comfortable shooting that thing. You could tell by your body language when you come down. If you come down from the jumper, you start making your way back toward half court, like Steph Curry style, you know you know that you shot a good shot. But let's transition over to football really quickly. I know you got obligations, and I appreciate you for being on here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell Anwar that he needs to come on here for a minute because I want to hear what you have to say to him. I'm going to football wise. I'm gonna throw some topics at you, and you just rumble with them. Liam Cohen is back after all the. Let's go to that question. Liam Cohen's back. Devin Leary, Ray Davis is back. Crevassier smoke to Colorado was very interesting. Did you know anything about that? I can't remember the defensive lineman's name we got from North Carolina. And where do you expect Justin Rogers to end up at?
I don't know. We'll have to ask Anwar that because that's the one guy they've lost in the transfer portal that I think really hurts them. I don't think that Justin's irreplaceable, but I do think his experience and what he brought to the defense. Anytime you have a defensive lineman that's shown you he can play, it's tough to lose that guy. I don't think it's anything that Kentucky could have done. I mean, I think either he's looking for NIL or he's looking to where he can play in front of Deion Walker. And that's just the way it's going to be. I mean, if he wants to play in front of Deion, he's got to go somewhere else. And he's not at the NIL money, I guess, if he thinks he can get more somewhere else, can't blame him for that. So, but then now they brought in the kid from North Carolina who hadn't been very productive at North Carolina yet, but he certainly has a resume and some athleticism that I think Anwar probably is pretty excited about having. And then you got Big Dion back, so that makes me feel good. The one guy they've got coming back, and not through the transfer portal or anything, that I thought was really important that not many other people have, but I thought getting Tavion Robinson to come back another year is really good. You got those young guys, and they're good, but you've got Tavion now. It's a 4-year player. I think he's got 175 career catches, something played in almost 50 games or something like that now. And I think just that guy to kind of still help those guys. And I think with Liam Cohen's offense, that he'll be a whole lot better than what he was this last year. And I don't know if you got a chance last night on the BBN Tonight on WLEX. Liam Cohen was on with them, which I really liked. But do you know that the first thing he said was that, the offense will be different than it was 2 years ago because he's got different players. So he's going to adapt his offense to the players he has. Is that kind of unusual for a coach to say that, or do all coaches do that, Anthony?
Well, one coach that didn't say it but had to do it and did a damn good job of it was the last coach we had. I mean, not the last two, Eddie Grant.
Yeah.
Eddie Grant did that. I mean, he adjusted to the players he had quite often. I just don't know the cupboards were bare at receiver. I mean, not some. I don't think it was stacked at receiver. I don't think those guys were as bad as they were made out to be. That quarterback position, I don't think we developed the quarterback in 10, 12. How long has he been here? 12? 12 then. If he's been here 12, then I don't think we developed a quarterback in 12 years, maybe 10.
Yeah, just transfer you for coming in there. So, but Larry looks like he's going to be really. I mean, he looks like he's going to be really, really good if he's healthy.
So my man Stu has joined in, but I'm looking on Cat's Paws. Is Cat's Paws very quick to update? It looks like Justin Rogers is committed to Auburn.
Oh wow!
Have you heard anything about that?
I had not seen that, but if it's on there, I would say that is pretty accurate. Last I'd heard, I thought maybe he was going like to Miami or LSU.
Let me see what the date is. 1-3. No, I'm not sure. Hey, well, it says transfer report. It says Auburn. I don't know, but we know somebody who can tell us, and I'm about to have him join the show.
Hey.
If you wouldn't already enjoying the show with Larry Vaught on here, Van House out of the way, getting out of my way, just talking DB talk all the time. We got the great Larry Vaught on here, and defensive line coach out of the Universe Fighting Wildcats, Anwar Stewart. Anwar, man, I'm glad you can join us.
What's up, guys? What we got, man?
Hey, man, I seen on backstage. I ain't gonna put your business. I seen you backstage. You had a cup.
Say that again?
I see your red cup back there, Lil Wayne.
You see it?
No, he was backstage. I saw it.
Yeah. You know, I keeps that red cup on deck.
He's probably been out working on that golf game, and he needs to hydrate back up, Anthony.
Hey, Larry
He
Vaught, you
carried
saw
it
who
last
used,
time.
Larry, you know who used who balls last time we played?
That's true. That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Man, I just pulled something up though, Stu. I know we're gonna talk about UK state of UK football. Y'all got Liam back. I know you and Brad White and them, y'all held it down over there. A lot of people have been asking me a lot about Justin Rogers. Been here 4 years, on his way out the door, because I meant to ask this before you even came on, because it's a Larry Vaught. But and Larry Vaught, what is the one? I know that everything I told you, everything you've seen from this coach below us. What's the one thing you require? Don't require a whole lot. What's the one thing you require?
You asking me or Stewie?
I'm asking you.
Oh, all out effort. Play hard and be intense.
And that's why I'm just kind of figuring somebody's there 3 years and they transfer, hit the portal. But we did pull a kid from North Carolina, which Larry Vaught pointed out to me has all the accolades has the paperwork to be a good player, but might need that motivation. And if that's all it takes for the player to reach their next level, you to do it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. You know what? Very, very excited about Keyshawn Silver coming in. You know, Anthony, it's one of those things where, you know, in today's time, you gotta always think ahead. And when you kind of sense certain things, you know, with Justin want to put himself in the portal, shop himself around, you know, it's like dating a girl, right? It's like, hey, that girl that you've been with, now she wants to go hang out with, you know, with Johnny down the street. You know, it's like, hey, is that okay? No, it's not okay. And so, you know, you just got to continue to do your homework, continue to recruit. And you know what? We were fortunate enough. This young man here was a top 100 kid coming out during the COVID, which was tough because they had all that virtual recruiting. But man, fortunate enough, man, to just stay in contact with this kid, and it all worked out, man. I tell you what, you guys are gonna love him, man. He's about 6'4", 85 wingspan, about 320. He can run, he can do it all. He's still raw, so I can't wait to dig my nails into him. But a really good kid, man. Really excited, and I'm gonna have him for 3 years.
Stu, did you have some connections with him from the past with your ties to North Carolina and everything?
Well, I recruited him, you know, when I first came back right before COVID hit. And so, Larry, one of the things that you have to do in recruiting, man, I knew North Carolina was gonna get this kid because he was right in his backyard. But you also have to keep a list of kids that, you know, may or may not, you know, may or may not develop at that time, or they may not be happy where they are. And so this kid was fortunate enough to fall in our lap, man, and we was able to lock him down.
His athleticism, I mean, his numbers, when you just look on paper, what he runs with wingspan, I mean, it's incredible looking at those numbers, Stu.
Well, that's what you want. You know, Coach Stoops is all about big, long, athletic guys, not just, you know, in the secondary, but also, you know, on the defensive line and Coach White. And, you know, that's what we look for. So, you know, Justin, you know, 3 years, you know, he was, you know, making his way and started to, you know, play pretty well, you know, the second half of the season. And so, you know, you can't cry over spoiled milk, but he thought, you know, he could just go shop himself. And so that's fine. But if you're going to do that, that's okay. Just know that everybody's replaceable. And so we're able to get this kid. And, you know, we rather not go into the portal, but the portal actually really helped us because we needed a kid that could come in right now and help us. And he's the one.
Hey, I don't want you to take nothing away from the kid from North Carolina, but you and I played together, and we seen the development of each other, players around us. The one thing that pisses me the hell off is, and we've had a Justin Rogers watch on here for 3 years. His first year was Justin Rogers. Second year, we ain't seen that dude play yet. Dude, this year, bowl game, other games, he make impact. He get in there and make some plays. Now you right here. Like you right here. Like people say, when you plugging away at something, you plugging away. That next swing could be the one that sets you free. Like that could be the one that chips through the wall that opens up freedom to you. I just want you to let me. That's why I can't get into coaching. I choke them motherfucker. Like I choke them damn kid. If I put that much work into you, you right here. Like you right here. You right here. And then you decide,
well, you definitely won't get into college coaching, man, because now times have changed so much, Anthony, man. And the one thing about Coach Stoops is that he always tell you, like, if you can't recruit, you can't coach him. And so recruiting is a big part of it. And so you just have to have a plan all the time. And so that's what I've had. That's what we've always had, have a plan. And so that we don't get caught with our pants down, man. That's what we did. So because you just never know. Everything now is about NIL. Like you said, I had that kid. That kid was playing his ass off the second half of the season. And you're absolutely correct. I thought that he was right there on the verge of really having that breakout year that he needed. Well, you know what? People, they listen to little voices and, they get in their ear and then they want to, go and shop themselves around. Well, if that's what you're going to do, just know your ass ain't coming back.
So, Stu, what happened when so many people were speculating that Deion Walker might do the same thing, and yet, as far as I know, he never even thought about leaving?
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. Deion's an awesome kid, man. Awesome. Deion's the type of kid that he never gets too high, too low. Deion will come have lunch with you. He'll sit down with the strength staff. He'll sit down with the medical, like the trainers. Like he's just a really good guy, man. He really is, and he love ball, man. The sky's the limit for that kid, man. I tell you what, he's in the gym right now, shedding pounds, working hard, getting everybody else in the weight room, and that's what it takes, man. We need to continue to develop leadership and the culture here, and so young men like Deion, he's going to help us to really get to the next level, man. We got to get our asses down college football playoffs, man. I'm telling y'all, we're not far away, man.
Is this the locker? Because if it is, who the hell is paying for these damn guests? Don't be taking out all the money that you ain't paying me. Because how the hell we get Stu in the great Larry Vaught? What the hell? What's going on? Mr. Vaught?
We've been saving the budget. This is our fourth year. We done got some sponsors. We had some money saved up in the back, man.
That NIL getting to us? Are we getting NIL?
Hey, I'm pro bono, man. I'm pro bono for my boy. I won't take nothing from y'all.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. I know Larry Vaught got to get up out of here real quick. What was the I don't know if Larry seen it from the media side, Stu seen it from inside. So it was speculation where I don't know how much speculation it was that Liam. I know Larry had, Larry Vaught always keep an article on deck. Like Larry Vaught got an article on deck and anything happen. But Liam Cohen makes it official. What's the vibe in the locker room?
Everybody's excited. Everybody's excited, just like the fans. Big Blue Nation. Everybody's excited for him to come back. The pieces are here, man. Like I told you, Doug, pieces are here. Guys are ready. They're here. They're ready to work, man. Just had the first week of classes almost over. So, man, everybody's ready to roll, man. So, getting Liam back, young, smart, energetic guy, man. He's a young man that, with all the pieces that we have, he's just going to do like he did when he first got here. But I think he's going to take us to the next level.
Larry Vaught, what's the fan beat, or what's the beat that you done got from?
Oh, fans are so excited. What I can't figure out, Stu, is I know when you guys were recruiting, you knew for a month Liam was coming. And so, especially on the offensive side, they had to go ahead and tell some of those guys. And none of the recruits even told it. I mean, Maurice Douglas, who had Anthony Brown that signed with you guys, and I tried to get it out of him, and he said, I can't tell you, Larry, because we're swore to secrecy. That's what that tells me the answer right there. But I said, how did everybody keep all those kids from going out and saying, well, yeah, we don't have to worry, we're signing because we know Liam's coming.
We just don't tell Big Dog, man.
Okay. That does it. Okay.
No, I'm just joking. No, but you know what? One of the things about it is like, I don't know, like we talk about, keeping everything in-house. And so that's one of the things that we've done. We got a few more surprises coming up here soon, man. So we just want to we don't want to give y'all everything at one time.
Right.
So hell, the season just ended. I mean, we're gonna give y'all piece by piece. But you know what? We just try to keep it in the house. Coach Stoops big on that, about house business, man. We keep it in there, and when it's time to let out, Coach will release it.
It also says something about your culture because Ray Davis and Devin Leary don't know anything about the culture. They could have easily let that slip. For them to adhere to your culture rules says a lot about y'all, I guess, vetting them and making sure that they on board with doing the right thing.
Van, I tell you what, man, those two cats and the old lineman that we got from NIU, man, I tell you what, man, they live in the facility, man. Those guys, when they're there, they're watching film, they're coming through, they'll go down, fix a sandwich, come back up. I mean, man, they just living it, man. I tell you what, they're doing a heck of a job, man, leading by example. And so, man, we're really lucky to have those guys.
So do you figure Tommy Ziesmer will start the first game, or you think he'll take you 2 or 3 games before you get him in there? Because I don't want to get on you too quick about him now.
I tell you what, you come on in March, come on over to spring ball, and we'll see how all that go. I don't make no promises.
Okay. All right. Well, keep an eye on it. I told him he might have to grow up a little bit. That I know he thought those coaches at Boyle County were tough, but I told him you wouldn't be near as lovable when you were coaching.
Right. The honeymoon over, Larry.
That's what I told him. I tried to warn him.
Hey, it's time to get his ass in that weight room. Let's get bigger, faster, and stronger, and let's get out of it. And then when we get there in March, he's going to have every opportunity, like every other young man, to come in, compete, and win a job. So really excited about having him. And so, very excited about him and Keyshawn and all the guys. And it's time for that 19 class to grow up. I'm excited to see what Oxidon's going to do. And Trey and Josiah. It's time for those guys to lead us, man. So I'm excited.
I did want to ask you this, man. Because we're in the locker, man, we got you in the locker, man. I don't know why you bring your ass in here, but what I know Larry Vaught and I talked about. What was the feeling of C-Rod? Like I don't really understand why Will Levis ain't played, but I know he was injured at some point, and he had some injuries. C-Rod played 8 games and decided to say, what was the feeling in the locker room? Not coaching wise. I mean, I'm not asking you to give your opinion.
Right.
You can if you want to. But what the players playing? Because I know what me and you would have been off of.
Yeah, but you know what, Dub? Like honestly, that's more of an offensive thing because defensively, we don't worry about what the offense does and the choices that they make. That's not on us. Defensively, we didn't care. We just knew we was gonna go out and play, Wildcat defense, and that's what we did. Shit. Besides that one drive where we had, 7, 8 missed tackles on that screen. Other than that, they come piss a drop. And so we only can control what we can. And C-Rod decided, what not to play and Will. And so it really was good for Juton and Lavelle, and then for the twin to come in and play. And so, man, the great thing about this season was the young guys all got an opportunity to grow up. They got a lot of reps invested, and I think that's what's going to make us even stronger this year. Man, we played the most young guys probably in the SEC in the country, and you saw what happened. Hell, we had 3 All-Americans, freshman All-Americans, 2 receivers in the D lineman. I tell you what, man, we got a nice young class, man, and we got some guys that's going to come in this year and compete for some jobs.
Hey, Ant, Stu gave you the old dead leg on that. He heard your question. He said, but I'm coming from the top rope. So the offense had that. So tell me about Carrington Valentine, how that went down, since you only gonna talk about defense. Now don't tell me you just a D-line coach and you don't deal with the DBs. Tell me about how that affect the locker room. And
Well, I am the D-line coach. I am, right? But you know what, Van, before you jumped on, man, we talked about those little voices.
Yeah.
Right? We talked about these little voices, man, that mama, uncles, aunties, brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Nah, you should go. You should go to the league. You should do this. You really think he's ready? You know, it's one of those things where they think that, oh, no, he should come at for our best interest. It's not for our best interest, it's for his best interest. Like people that know football, they see how that kid has developed. Is he there yet? Not even close. Now, will he get drafted? He may get drafted. But the thing about drafting is it's the longevity of the game. Right? It's the longevity. And I think that's why, when you look at, what I've done the last 3 years with Q being the starting D tackle for Dallas, and Marquand and Phil and Josh, right? Those guys stayed. They stayed here for 4 years, 5 years, man. They developed. And that's what it's about. When you develop, man, you got a better opportunity at longevity. And that's the thing. Like, people listen to these little voices, and and now this kid, man, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. Good luck, my man.
Yeah, when you only have one pick in your 3 years, and Emmanuel Forbes has 6 pick sixes, and he's not the top DB.
Yeah.
So where you gonna go?
I'll tell you what, too, Van. The scouts are watching all our games. Yeah. They're watching every rep from him.
Yep. And
they're evaluating him, right? And at the end of the day, his stock either gonna do this or it's gonna do this, right? And so, I thought that he could have we thought he could have benefited from another year. But hey, Coach Stewart is not about holding guys back. We all about the next one, and right. And so, man, next guy up. You got to have that next man up mentality. And that's what we have, man.
I'm gonna let Larry get up out of here, man.
Yeah, Larry, get your old ass out. You about to go sleep anyway. What time is it?
Hey, it's bedtime.
Yeah.
You don't have no questions before you go to bed, Larry?
No, I'm good. You guys go ahead. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you starting early so the old guy wouldn't have to mess his schedule up.
Larry's not going to bed, y'all. Larry's fooling y'all. Larry's about to get it crunked up in the house. He's about to turn up.
Have a good rest of the show, guys. Thank you.
All right, man. Appreciate you, Larry.
All right.
LARRY VAUGHT.
So Stu, tell me something about this Silver kid, man.
Man, I tell you what, I was speaking on him earlier. He's about 6'4", 85 wingspan. Yeah, he can slap it from around the corner, man. He's probably got 11-inch hands. Big kid. He's probably about 325. Athletic kid. The thing I like about him is he's raw. He just doesn't know yet. They never tapped into his abilities, man. And I'm really excited about, getting my hands on him, digging my fingernails in him, and helping him become, the best version of him, man. But we're really excited to have him. I mean, he's a long, athletic guy, man.
Are you gonna start him at 0, or are you gonna put him at that field defensive end?
We're gonna start him at nose.
Okay.
We're gonna start him out at nose, and just like Dinkins and Josiah, he's got to come in and take it. Yep. He's gonna earn it. He's got to come in and earn it, and that's what it's about, man. I mean, you look at him, his size, and Dion and
Sanders.
Khalil, all those guys, man. Now you're starting to get long and athletic, man. And so, that's what it's about. That's what you look. Now you want to talk about looking like an SEC D-line? And just know, like I told you earlier, I ain't done yet. Just hold on.
Okay. Now you can't be going over the 85 limit scholarship, though.
What you talking about? We ain't got 85 scholarships.
Oh, okay. So how many D linemen you gonna give me? We can't have like 8 D linemen and only 6 DBs, man. Come on.
Y'all got what you talking about? You got a bunch of DBs.
Yeah, we got about 10, huh? 10 or 12.
I need a couple more, man.
Okay.
I need a couple more. Well, you know, we usually carry about 12 scholarship D linemen.
So you got 8 or 9?
But I'm probably about 10, 9 or 10. Yep. I mean, you want to try to carry at least. We used to try to carry at least 10 to 12. So depending.
Are you going in the portal, or are we going to get in this 2023 class? We got some late signees.
I don't know what we're gonna do yet. I don't know. I'm praying on it. Yeah, praying on it.
Yeah.
But no, man, it's exciting, man. I tell you what, I'm excited to get this kid, man, and just continue to, upgrade. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know, everybody was in love with Justin Roberts. This kid here, he was a 5-star kid also. I think he was the 9th overall D lineman in that COVID class of 2020. Really good kid, man. Humble kid. Loves ball, and he's itching to learn, man. And that's what it's about, man. Getting young men in here that love ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, man, really excited about it.
You, Carter Hall just said you offered him out of high school.
I did offer him out of high school, but remember, it was COVID, right?
Yep.
So everybody was doing those virtual, like what we're doing right now. Everybody's doing those virtual Zooms. You couldn't get a kid on campus, and he was in North Carolina's backyard. So,
Right.
Hey, so and I know Larry Vaughn and I talked about it before you came on. And I know how you get down, just because that's the way we had to get it. Now it's a lot of favoritism, and sometimes you work your tail off. Somebody look better at you working your tail off. Y'all both working your tail off. Somebody just look better at it. Like, I'm just a smooth dude. Like, I just get it. But if I ain't sweating and snot blowing on my nose and he ain't working as hard. Well, I'm getting the same results. My thing is this. I know what y'all dealing with now, because I talked to other coaches in high school, and I've talked to other coaches in college. You tell an MFer, that's when everybody talking about who you bring in. One thing you keep saying is he loves ball. He wants to get better. And that's what you got to have. Like, if you don't do that, James Posey told me this when he coached at Virginia with Tina Thompson. If you tell a dude to get better and they don't want to get better, what can you do? Back in our day, it was this.
yeah.
It was some other stuff like.
Well, Doug, what you got to do is you got to continue to recruit better than what you have if you expect to continue to build. And so that's my thing. Like, I don't want to bring in, if I bring in the same type of kids, I'm going to have the same results. And so I want to continue to bring in kids that are passionate, that love, that, their why is greater than themselves. When you go into a school or you sit down with a kid, you want to ask specific questions like, what do you do in your free time? If he's a guy that's, I just chill out, or I just hang out with my girl, and it's not like, man, I'm watching, Chris Jones, or I'm studying film, or I'm doing this, I'm doing it. It's all about football. Then that's probably not the kid that you want to recruit. You ask a kid, what's your favorite player? And he said, I don't have one. What do you mean you don't have one?
You ain't watching no film. You ain't watching.
Yeah, you ain't even watching football. Like, what are you doing? And so at the end of the day, man, that's what it's about, man. Recruiting the right kids, man. Kids that are going to continue to help you guys better and better. And at the end of the day, it's going to help you get, to your ultimate goal. And that's this freaking, this college football playoff, man. That's what it's about.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, man. I know when I seen you out one night, man, and met with Wilcox coach. Man, I hung out with that dude. Man, he talked my damn ear off, man. And had great things to say about the kid, man. I had to go look. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I ain't really know a whole lot about him. I want to look at it. Everybody keep asking me, man, we gonna get Wilcox? I happen to know who the recruiter. But so what we looking like on Wilcox? I know his daddy show or his mentor. I don't know why I keep saying his mentor.
Yeah,
came to enjoy his time here or whatever. And he was here last week, wasn't he?
He was here a few weeks ago, man.
Okay.
And he was here like right before everything went dead, and you know, he's been here several times, and so man, he really does like it here. You know, I think that we all just have to be patient and let him make his decision. So I think at the end of the day, that's what it's about. But I tell you what, man, I've done a hell of a job recruiting that kid, and I think I have a really good shot at this kid, man.
Hold on, Stu. Say that one more time. Who did a hell of a job with him?
Oh, that's my dude, man.
Oh, all right, because we be hearing some other people be. I'm just saying. I just want to hear.
Well, then this is the thing. All right, you know, sometimes I peep little stuff like, you know, all the fans and people want to see you take pictures with guys in the school and you know, with their family. Well, I like to move in silence. I don't like everybody know my moves. Okay, I don't like everybody know my moves. You know who needs to know my moves? Coach Stoops.
Coach Stoops. I feel you.
The man that signs my check every month, that's who needs to know where I am, what am I doing, who am I recruiting. He's the guy that needs to know that, not the fans, not somebody that's just being nosy, that just wants the scoop. That's not what it's about, right? I have a staff that I have to answer to, and I do that. My staff knows that Coach Stu going to get out, that I'm going to work, I'm going to be where I'm supposed to be, I'm going to do more than expected. My guys know that. My staff know that. My players know that. That's just how I am.
So what Stu just said, for all you young guys, you don't know this. Stu pull up Suge Knight and said, if y'all want someone dancing out in your video.
Right.
That's them. But if you want to come
to
the BBN, I don't have to do all that stuff.
No, man. Hey, man, look, man. I honestly think this week, in the next couple weeks, man, BBN's gonna be very excited about what all we're doing, man. We're working in silence, man. We're doing some awesome things right now, man. Sewing up this 23 class, man. We got some shit coming now. Believe that.
Okay.
Party ain't over. Party just getting started.
Okay.
Hey, Stu, who is Juwan? Kendrick Jones, the father of Jacquez Jones, said Juwan is going back to Calgary.
Yeah, so me and Juwan Simpson played together. We played in the 100 Grey Cup together. He was a linebacker from Alabama. He played at University of Alabama. I think that is his godfather, I believe. Okay. But he actually was at Missouri, maybe. We played, not Missouri, maybe one of the last home games that we played in, maybe his senior day. He was here for senior day, but yeah, Juwan's, that's my dude, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, going up there, man, going to the Calgary.
Yeah, he's actually gonna be the D-line coach. I know his ass gonna call me for some tips.
Oh, he the uncle.
He the uncle. Yeah, he gonna call me for some tips. Juwan don't know nothing about no D-line play. So go ahead. Tell him, come on, man, come see me for about a week. I get him right.
D-line different up there on that field, 75 yards wide? That field wide to the board. You can run a sweep forever.
Hey, you throw that ball from the hash to the boundary, but that ball up there for about 5-6 seconds.
Right.
Yeah. No doubt. That ball up there forever.
So, hey, Stu, what was the temperature of the locker room this year when things started going south? Was it still healthy, or were you guys fighting it?
You know what? Like I told you, we played a lot of young guys this year. The guys feisty, man. We got a lot of heart. We got a lot of young guys that like really love ball, man. When things didn't go well and adversity hit, Coach Stoops did a really good job keeping everybody together. Coach, the coordinators, Brad did a hell of a job with the defense. Because like we only can control what we can control. And so the one thing that we can control is our effort and our energy every week and how we prepare every day. And so, that's the thing, man. You just got to just stay in it. And that's the thing that guys had to understand. Like, just stay in it, man. Like, shit going to blow over. You just got to stay grinding, you know what I'm saying, and punch through the gray room. And so, that's what we did. Yeah, we disappointed in being 7-6. You know what? Now, how disappointed are we? Let's see how we attack this offseason. You see what I'm saying? Because that's gonna tell me up front, defensive line wise, You know what I'm saying? Who's coming early? Who's leaving late? Who's getting those extra reps in, those extra workouts in? You know, who's gaining weight? Who's trimming down? You know, who's doing all those little things in order to be successful, man? This upcoming spring, you know, to compete for a starting job, and then going into the summer and in the fall of 23.
What kind of excuses them MFers give y'all? Like you just said, you saying get some extra rest, and then what kind of, if everybody's going into the weight room or if everybody's going to the film, hey man, let's go watch a little extra film, and somebody say nah, shit, man, I got old Shawty over here. What? Like if you
and Dub, that's the thing. Everybody's not doing it. Everybody needs to do it. All right, it's about accountability and responsibility. That's what it's about. And so at the end of the day, man, our guys, man, our older guys got to push our younger guys. You know, you talk about the culture, you talk about the leadership. You know, you have to have that. We demand that, man. And so this is the thing, Doug. Guess what? The ones that don't do it are the ones that what? End their ass up in the portals. End up getting passed over. That's just how it is. You know, hey, look, it's on you. You don't want it. You don't want to, you know, take the resources and be great. Fine. Guess what? There's about 5 or 6 more right behind you, and they want it, and they're hungry, and they're freaking starving, man. They want it all. And so, as a coach, I want to give it all. It ain't nothing. Those guys know our coaching staff ain't nothing those guys won't do. We'll stay late. We'll come early. Whatever they need, man. We there for these guys.
Get Carter. I got a question.
Carter Hall said Ox needs to get his weight back up, and they put a question mark at the end. So I thought it was a statement, but he's asking.
You know what? Ox is doing his thing, man. He's getting his weight up. He's getting back in that weight room, man. He's doing everything. You know, I expect big things from him this spring. I really do. I expect him to come back and play like he played before he got hurt. And so, great kid, man. He really is. He's a kid that when we talk about the leadership, guys look to him to lead by example. And we need that from him. I mean, he's a Kentucky kid, you know, really good kid, come from a good family. It's his time, man. It's his time. So, you know, that's what we're expecting from him.
And we were talking about that. I say this all the time. I just want you to enlighten on it because fans don't understand. They wonder why X players not playing. And I always say that you, the coach, Coach Stu, they have to gain your trust in practice. And if they don't gain your trust in practice, I don't care how good you are. You might not be able to prove how good you are on game day if you can't prove to me Monday through Thursday that you gain the privilege of playing. And dudes just think my athletic ability, I'm 6'5", blah, 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 I should be playing. But if they don't gain your trust, how the hell can you trust them to do what they're supposed to do on Saturday against an SEC caliber team?
Now, you earn the right to play. You know, at the end of the day, you earn the right to play by, like you said, you know, coming early, leaving late, working your ass off, leading by example, doing things on and off the field, right? Doing everything the right way. It's not up to me. I tell them, I don't decide who plays. You decide who plays, not me. I don't decide, right? And so at the end of the day, we do a really good job of evaluating, you know, and so it's not just up to me. It's up to Coach White. It's up to Coach Stoops. You know, it's up to our staff. You know, we go in and we talk as a staff, guys. All right, what guys showing up, what guys not, what guys doing the right things, what guys are not. And all that matters, man. So I don't get to decide. They decide who plays. It's my job to what? To develop them, right? To mentor them, make sure that they're doing all the right things. But hell, I can't hold a gun to their head and say, hey, man, you got to do this, you got to do that. Right? That's why I just told y'all. Guess what? If you don't, you get passed up. Because I'm telling y'all right now, we're going out there getting damn dudes now.
Right.
Ain't nobody messing around. We're going out here to get these dudes, man. I'll tell you, man, we got a lot of talent, man. A lot of young Dinkins, Jamaris, man. I tell you what, Jamaris is probably 6'5" and a half. Jamaris probably about 290 long. He's probably an 84 wingspan kid. Man, I tell you what, man, he's playing some really good ball, man. I'm really excited for him too. And the thing about it is, he killing it in the classroom. And I always tell guys, what you do off the field affects what you do on the field. And what he's done off the field, man, on the field, man, he's doing some really good things, man. So that's why, bye, Justin, bye. We got dudes, man. We got some kids here that we're excited about. And I get this kid for 3 years.
Right.
You know, that's what it's about.
Spicy. It's
Yeah, man.
spicy up in this mud.
Ain't nobody got time for all that shit.
So
Nobody
look,
got time for that.
Stu, I don't know if you know, I'm a Mississippi boy, born in Centerville, Mississippi, raised in Woodville for a minute. My people up in Mississippi, I have a couple people I trust, said that Josiah is a dog. He hasn't shown it yet.
Yeah, he ain't there yet.
Is it too forward from home, culture shock, getting in the wrong stuff?
I really just think that it's the maturity part of the game that he needs to decide to turn the switch on.
Okay.
You know, turn the switch on. He has all the ability, man. He kills them. It ain't enough damn weights in the weight room. He can lift all the damn weights in the weight room.
Right.
He do all that now. That needs to transition over
to
the football field.
Gotcha.
And that's the thing that we're working on with him right now is the transition.
Gotcha.
So, hopefully this spring, man, the switch will go off, man, and he'll just wreck shop. But he shows flashes. He does show flashes.
Okay.
Reyes says, has the team off-season workouts begun yet?
Slowly. So as the guys get back, Coach Ed and Coach Hill, they do a really good job of, gradually working those guys up. And so, man, we slowly getting it done. And I think next week they hit the ground running.
And our man Chip Crafton worked with us over in our back in the 90s. So, who were the biggest performers in the bowl game who may have helped their position on next year's depth chart? Because there was a lot of young action out there.
Yeah, well, defensively wise, the expectations of Dion is even higher. Man, he hasn't been in the weight room yet. But I tell y'all what he's doing. And what I mean by that is he hasn't had a full off season.
Right.
And thing about Detroit, they graduate late. They don't graduate till the middle of December. And so by the time he gets acclimated, it's the 4th of July. What does young guys want to do on 4th of July? They want to go home.
Right.
But they go home for a couple of days, they come back. Then he has about 2-3 weeks to work out until fall camp starts. So really excited about him. I tell you right now, man, he's in there every day getting, 30 minutes extra on the Stairmaster, trimming down, eating right. He's doing all the right things. Very excited about him. The linebackers, the O-line. I tell you, like you talking about Leary, the running back, and all those new guys. Man, they're all around the facility. All around it. And right now is the time for the guys. Coach Schultz does a good job letting those guys get acclimated, back to classes. Making sure they're getting their schedules going. And then now everything should be fine. And so tomorrow, Friday, and then next week, man, Coach Ed and those guys will get their hands on them, man.
How much do you know about JQ? Because I would say this. I saw JQ. I went back to his high school highlights. I'm like, dude, that dude is a player. How do y'all feel like is he's going to step into Valentine's role, or he's going to have to feel his way around, kind of like Childress had to do this year, where he had to find his way in the system, then ball out later?
Well, I don't think Coach White or Collins going to give him anything. I think that he's going to earn it. I do. Now, the one thing now, and you're going to laugh about this, is I recruited that kid last year. Yeah. I recruited that kid last year. Yep. I recruited him last. Now him and Michael Williams, number 13 for Georgia. They both went to the same school.
No.
Yeah, we had both of them on campus a couple times. Yeah. So, hey man, that's why I tell y'all all the time, just because you don't get a kid or for whatever reason, kids grow on you, right? They grow on you. You just have to just keep, you just got to keep at it. Keep a list of kids, where they are, as the seasons are going on, what's happening with them. And then if they put themselves in the portal, this is the thing about the portal, though. A lot of guys are taking kids that have never been on their campus that they know nothing about. We taking kids that we actually recruited in the past. And for whatever reason, maybe we didn't take them, or they went somewhere else.
Right.
Okay. And so at the end of the day, you keep that list and you just, if they come about, you go back and you watch their film. And if you like them, you reach back out. Because what you don't want to do is bring a bunch of kids in that you know nothing about, and now they kill your culture.
I was talking to you the other day, Stu, and I meant to ask you this earlier when Larry Vaught was on there, man. So y'all gonna have a pretty decent recruiting weekend as well when Kansas come in town. Basketball.
That's gonna be our junior day. So we got junior day coming up that weekend. So the weekend of the 28th. So we're gonna have some top guys in here from all over the country, man. We're very excited. It's gonna be an awesome game. Get those guys in there to go watch them play Kansas, and just show them, what the University of Kentucky is all about. Football, basketball, how we are crazy about that. And man, hey, let's see what happens.
That ain't the game.
Hey, you never know.
Give them some
the
time.
light switch might come on.
Get them going some time, man.
What's the culture like over there, man? I know your boy can be petty because he's from Northeast Ohio, man. What's the culture like now, man? With these dudes over here, butthole bad, man, like butthole bad. Like I know y'all not chomping at the bit to throw shade at basketball or nothing, but I know y'all walking through there talking about these guys here.
Dub, you know what? Honestly, we really don't talk about the basketball stuff. I know it was that big thing between, football and basketball school and all that. I'll be honest with you, man. Like, we're just locked in to try to be the best version of us. Like, really, we don't talk a lot about, like, we support them. Like, we want to go to basketball games. Like, we want to, support them. This is whatever. But this is the thing. As Coach Stoops, his thing is always what? Recruit and develop, right? And so when you look around, you look at the basketball, it's hard to develop because you don't have them very long, right? It's too much turnover.
Yeah.
So when do you actually really get to develop somebody? Like, you don't really get a chance to. And then you think about it. In April, they gone. And then you're going to bring in, what, 6, 7 more? Freshmen, 18-year-olds? Man. But, hey, look, they got their work cut out for them. Give them some time, and let's see what happens.
It's funny, man. People talk about, and I brought this up a long time ago when this stuff first started. It might have been not even this year. And people like, dude, like dogs. Like dogs hang around with dogs. You don't see dogs hanging around with cats. Like dogs hang around with dogs. Mm-hmm. Unless they're their family pet, then they gotta get along with them. When we first came here, who was your probably closest dude you was with on campus our freshman year? Like freshman first couple months. Who was you going home when you shit on holidays?
Upperclassmen?
No, freshman with us, came here with us. It wasn't our sport though. You ain't go home with no basketball players?
Well, I used to hang out with Mercer.
Yeah, I'm saying I thought you and Mercer was pretty damn tight.
We were. Me and Mercer hung out. But
everybody act like it's a division between basketball and football. Like I was cool with all of them. I ain't break bread with them. But we stayed them out. We dapped up.
Wow, man, we had to get beat up.
You and Ryan Mercer.
We had to take up for them so they don't get their ass beat up. Little soft ass. Yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah, man. But that's what it's about, man. Like I said, because you gotta think, Doug, look, we all came in together. Right. Me, you, Ron, Nas, Wayne. We all of us came in together, man. Yeah.
So it's a little love out there, man.
It is. No doubt. Hey, man, look, We all in this thing together, man. They'll turn that thing around, man. They'll get in there, man. Them boys should get in there and work, man. Go in there and put that time in. That's what it's about.
I just don't know if y'all only bring motherfuckers in here against Kansas talking about, hey, this is the culture.
Well, nah, shit, that ain't our culture.
That ain't your right. Well, that's
our
like
culture
a
over here by the
problem.
stadium. Right, we just coming over here to support y'all.
Right.
We ain't got nothing to do with that.
All right, man. I got a good hour out of you, man. I'm gonna be Van up for these last 15 minutes, man.
Yeah, go ahead and knock them on out, man.
I know you got a lot
I got
to
a
do,
strong
man.
chin.
I know you got a lot to do.
All right,
Man, I
man. Appreciate
appreciate
y'all
you
having me
coming on.
on, man. And we gotta do this again, man.
Yeah, the off-season going, we definitely gonna keep you on. Before you go though, man, and this is just my thing, because I know how MFers are. Because I was looking, that Justin Rogers to Auburn is a crystal ball. What happens if Justin Rogers decides, you know what? Because what was that? Hey, Van, what was the quarterback we was talking about showing the practice squad or showing the scout team video?
Nick Scalzo?
Yeah, they brought Scalzo back. Scalzo hit the portal. And quiet as kept, Smoke hit the portal, came back. Like, he ain't hit the portal, but Smoke was dating outside his marriage. He was dating outside his marriage.
I told you on the defense side, we don't date. You
Okay.
committed. Committed means you 2 feet in or 2 feet out.
Okay.
All right, that's how we roll. Well, hey, ain't no damn 1 foot in, 1 foot out, my man.
So we was seeing the last of Rogers.
I went shopping. You saw I went shopping. Bought me some new J's.
Yeah.
You saw them new J's I just bought.
I don't know if you were shopping. That sounded like layaway.
Nah, man, no layaway. Nah, you do layaway, your cheap ass. You don't want to do layaway.
I don't make what you make.
That don't matter. You still do layaway.
He don't go get it. It's staying layaway, and I got to put it back on the shelf.
Hey,
Man, that's that 20%. No, I'm too cheap to leave that 20%
Yeah,
in there.
you'll get it out.
Hey, man, that boy go to Nike. He tell me, say, hey, I'm going to buy the left one. I'm going to come back and get the right one. Hey, man, what they do that at?
He'll find a size that's up on a display and go get that box, then leave with that. Then he'll come back with the display later.
Hey, you want the demo shoe. Hey, let me get the demo shoe.
I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth.
Oh, yeah, you were.
Hey, I wasn't born on third base. I wasn't born on third base.
You was born on second.
Now, he was the born on third. He don't want to have a nice car. Dude,
I was born in the dugout.
Facts.
Nah, that dude's spoiled, man. Boy, that silver spoon.
There y'all go, man.
That boy had everything.
Right.
You know Stella wasn't gonna let her baby go without.
Thank you. Someone on here who can validate.
Hey.
Mama's
and one thing you need to learn as a coach, if you're gonna stand behind that bullshit, one thing you need to learn as a coach, Anwar Stewart, all that pampering she did to me from 95 to 99 when you was with me, wouldn't have happened from 2000 to 2023. Who take care of who?
She still baby you.
Who take care of who?
I'm sure.
All right. I'm taking Anwar to Twinsburg Heights so he can get in on some of these honeydews when I go home.
I ain't doing none of that. I'm staying at the hotel. I'm staying at the hotel. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go find Halle Berry. That's what I'm gonna go find.
Halle Berry been out. She been gone from Bedford, man. She ain't up there. She been gone from there.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
Dang, Carter.
Dang,
see, man, you got people kicking Justin.
Get him out of there. Go ahead. Get him out, hey, man. Hey, guys, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I feel you.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man. Can't cry with spoiled milk, man.
Facts.
Can't spit. Hey, clean it up, Doug. Go to the corner store, get you another bottle, man. Come on back. Let's try it again.
A better bottle too.
Ooh, big bottle.
Because now I got a little more money in my pocket.
I went from a pint to a gallon of milk. Yeah. I went from a pint to a gallon. Chocolate milk.
Right.
When I get on y'all dudes level, man, I'll step my game up, man.
Nah, you good, man. You just cheap as hell.
You know, just rushing and catching for 1,500 yards really ain't enough, man.
No, not these days, dog. Not no more, man.
You know, if I knew 2,000 was a number, I should have went for 2,000.
Yeah. No.
That ain't it.
Hey, man, I caught that boy Fred Sanford, man. That boy got all kinds of shit in his house, man. You can't even walk in there, man. I call that boy Fred Sanford.
Yeah, you gotta go, man. All right, man. Mute his motherfucking mic. Yeah, you know, he don't know what he's fucking with. Yeah, he don't know what he's fucking with. He think I'm gonna sit here and let him badmouth me and my motherfucking establishment.
That's wrong, man.
It's all good. I got a mute button too. It's all good.
All
right, man. Hey, man, look, y'all do y'all thing, man. I'm gonna check y'all out these last 15 minutes, man. But I appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate you, Stu.
Nah,
hey, man. Hey, we got some shit now. We got stuff coming now.
I can't wait.
Hey, look, you two need to come out to open practices, man. Come on out and see us this spring, man.
Hey, as long as they gonna allow me to come out there, man, I'll come out there locker wise. I'm gonna get locker credentials this year. So if there come a time you, I think I'm gonna bring somebody else on the locker as well. So we're gonna get locker credentials.
And I'm not just saying for the blue and white, you know, that weekend, like come out and check us out, man. It's gonna be fun, it's gonna be exciting, it's gonna be a lot of competition.
Damn,
yeah,
that's wrong.
Man, you know, we always appreciate you, man. We always appreciate you.
All right, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be easy, man.
All right, man. Later.
All right, man.
I appreciate y'all. All right, now.
Yeah. So we done been all over the place. We done been around the world and back.
I see.
I can't believe the followers over here jumping on me. They don't realize, man, I ain't with this bullshit, mother. You jump on me, I'll mute you. I'll block y'all asses. That's why I don't even be on social media. Because I'm just playing. I love them. I love it all, man. I love them, man. Give me the heat, man. Give me the heat. But, Van, I'm going with this. Because I got a couple of bets. I don't think I got a bet with you. If you are a quarterback away, what team you know in the NFL quarterback away from a championship? Or quarterback away from competing? I'm trying to think. I don't know. Okay, so I don't know. Say you're a quarterback away from Stetson Bennett, the fourth, or Will Levis.
It is no way I'm drafting Stetson Bennett. There's no way. No way. I'm definitely not ahead of Will. I mean, I wouldn't draft Stetson Bennett ahead of Anthony Richardson. Stetson Bennett is who he is. Stetson Bennett is a great college quarterback. The same way Ty Detmer was a great starting quarterback. The same way Danny Warfel was a great starting quarterback.
Man.
Stetson Bennett is not that dude for the NFL. I'm just saying. Now, can he be a good backup? Yeah.
Wait a minute. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. The
He's
Jets.
a good backup.
The Jets defense is good.
Yeah.
Somebody said the Jets.
Yeah, the Jets pretty good.
Okay.
Stetson Bennett, like I said, man, Stetson Bennett, a great story. I know people are gonna say how
Tom Brady was a great story. Yeah, Tom Brady. He was a good guy, man. Go ahead. I'm gonna listen though, because
Stetson Bennett might be 6'1", maybe probably 6 feet. There's a difference, man. There's a difference when you're playing with. Here's the thing. Stetson Bennett's playing with the best guys. His guys are normally better than the opponent. 95% of the time.
Last year it wasn't.
Dude, last year, you know how many guys that got drafted to the NFL last year?
On the defense?
Yes, defense and on offense.
What they got to do with him on offense, though? What they got to do with him on offense?
Dude, what I'm saying
Brock Bauer was a freshman? Sophomore?
Brock Bowers is a baller. I don't care. He could have been an 8th grader.
See, that's the bullshit, man. What you call it? Dude, we had 2 freshmen that was ballers. Now, everybody will say, well, he had this and that around him. Dude, we had the big blue wall in front of Will. We had last year we had
one
Liam.
down.
No, I'm saying we had Liam. I was thinking the play calling is what hurt us against Jordan. No, you know, your boy dropped that screen that was wide open. So, but I'm saying they act like he has such great man. I'm not saying defense. I understand what you're saying defense. Wait a minute. Wait on one motherfucking minute. Our defense was terrible last year.
I didn't say
We wasn't Georgia's defense, but hold on.
Who said? I said we were terrible.
Because you arguing the same shit that Memphis was arguing that we was talking about earlier.
No, let's stop trying to play football math. Our team,
A winning quarterback, dude. He threw
team
balls in windows on Monday. He threw balls in windows that I don't think most quarterbacks don't. I know Will won't. I know Will wouldn't through them windows.
I remember like 2 or 3 touchdowns, at least 2 wide open down receivers running butt ass naked down the seams with nobody near them. Damn, I could have threw those passes left-handed. I'm just saying, you can say all you want. Stetson Bennett will not be a starting quarterback in the NFL. He just won't. He just won't.
We're gonna
here's the deal.
Hold on, let me pin.
But he won 2 natties.
1 hour and 46 minutes on 1:11:23.
Right, you can send this to the bank. Stetson Bennett will not be a starter in the NFL. Now, could he be a starter if someone gets hurt? Sure, but he will not be the starting quarterback for any franchise on day one. And it's not anything bad about it.
No, I didn't say that. But did Tom Brady? Was Tom Brady a starting quarterback?
Dude, Tom Brady is 6'4", probably.
I don't think Tom Brady that tall.
He's
I think
6'3",
Tom Brady
then?
my height. I think he my height.
Tom Brady's got to be 6'3", 6'4".
He ain't 5'11" though. 6 foot.
Right.
You know that.
And you know,
wait a minute, how tall is
6'4".
Drew Brees? How tall is Drew Brees?
He ain't Drew Brees though. Drew Brees is 5'11".
Oh my God, man, that's what y'all people who argue always talking about.
Okay, okay. All right, hold on. Question to you: Drew Brees in college coming out, Stetson Bennett coming out next year. Who would you draft?
I don't remember Drew Brees.
See now you give me that bullshit.
I don't know. I know.
Do you remember
Drew Brees?
Nice in Purdue?
Who did he have to throw to?
Purdue had nothing. And Purdue was nothing before him. And he made Purdue get on the map.
Washington. Okay. We can go to Washington.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Okay. Because Tim Couch, if he went to the right program, would have been the whole thing.
Trying to compare Stetson Bennett to Tim Couch? Please don't tell me you're trying to do that.
No, I'm not saying, oh my God. That's
Come on now.
If Tim Couch would have went to the Tom Brady ain't 6'4", man.
Tom Brady.
I'm gonna show you that video of us playing together and see. Unless he didn't grow. He might have grew after us. And we were both to like 23 years old.
Anthony, are you 6'2"?
Yeah.
Tom Brady's taller than you.
How you know that? When last time you see me saying this Tom Brady?
Tom Brady's taller than you because I've stood next to Tom Brady, not next to.
And are you 6'2"?
No, I'm 6 feet.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Tom Brady's taller than you, dude.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, look, I would give him 6'3".
He may be. I ain't gonna argue the death. He may be.
And if you think Stetson Bennett's 5'11", I'll fucking sell you a damn oceanfront in Wyoming. Stetson Bennett's probably 5'9".
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
But he's good.
If that's the case, I did not know that.
But he's good though. It's not. You know, in the NFL, dude, there are some. Damn, Darren Sproles was a baller at Kansas State. Yeah. Darren Sproles had to be a third down back in the NFL. Darren Sproles was that dude. You know, certain things happen, and it just.
Barry Sanders wasn't no big dude.
Barry Sanders' damn quads were the size of both of us put together. Though. Shit. Dude, now that's somebody who I saw right next to me. When we played down Detroit on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit, that MFer, dude, now we get on the tangent. That MFer ran to the sideline, dude, like he was going to run out of bounds, all right? Everybody on the sideline, there's a video. We was like, whoa, like you're going to go out of bounds. That motherfucker stopped. We had Brian Cox, our starting safety, Marty Carter, cornerback, flew out of bounds. That motherfucker stopped and went straight up the sideline for a first down. Dude, he was running so fast, we were like, oh my God, he's gonna run out of bounds. Man, that nigga, poof, and went. That dude was different. That dude was different, man. He called the dude. I saw some moves, man. It's something to see it on TV, but to see it live on the sideline, dude, that I ain't never seen anything like it.
That is true. What you call it?
Facts. That's a good one.
Because it is strong once you do it. You know one thing about me, and I don't know how you felt about it. I always wore low top cleats because I like to be able to lean as much as I wanted to lean when I was cutting, and I never taped my ankles. So when I was in St. Louis, I think.
Okay.
And I was getting ready to go to practice, and I had on low cut socks. And Marshall and Devin Bush was like, man, you ain't got on no taped ankles? I said, no, you need to tape your ankles. I said, I don't like nothing around my ankles. I like to get in, get up through there. But if you get hurt, you ain't getting no money. You ain't getting, you ain't getting what you call it. Because I got tape. You know what happened at practice?
You sprained your ankle. You rolled it.
Yes. And it wasn't bad because my ankles were strong because they had never been taped.
Right.
But it was that day I did sprain my fucking ankle, man.
Damn.
So I know you're a basketball, a girls basketball type dude. You know what? So you do understand, so we can get this straight. Now, two different things I want to bring to you. You do understand that Kyra Elzy did not try to deter Dre from leaving.
Yeah.
Before she left, she had to be leaving under the circumstances that she could not play at UK the fall this year coming because she hadn't graduated.
Right.
And do you got any background? Is it okay for her to act like, or whoever,
dude,
maybe somebody just wanted to put the heat on us? Because you know they did the same thing to Cal, and I don't know if it's the same details, but they did the same thing to Cal about the dude from Kentucky that went to Western or Moorhead.
Oh, yeah. Dante Allen.
Yeah, Dante Allen. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, look, you know how kids are. We don't listen as kids. And Dre was being Dre. And here's the thing, man. It's hard. I don't like the women losing the way they're losing because they should have won that Georgia game. But you also got to build a culture, and you also got to stay true to your word. And Dre had an issue last year. Dude, how many times you know a player that gets suspended multiple times in a year? Have you ever heard that? Not multiple. Once?
Yeah, you don't get that second two. You got a dog ass coach, man.
Right?
Man, we'll holler at you, man.
So she obviously, here's the thing. This is what how I look at it. She's on a third team. She's a transfer to us. So she's on a third team. So what's the constant in that? The constant is you. Right. You play for one coach, leave. You play for another coach, and y'all two don't mesh. And she gave you multiple chances. Multiple, not just one. She gave you multiple chances, and you affected the culture because you kind of got Ryan Howard off of her pedestal a little bit with the actions because now y'all friends. So she was a really good player for us. But as Stu said, you got to do the right thing on and off the field. When you do stuff wrong off the field and you disrespectful to the program, to the coach, to your teammates in your room, because what happens is you don't only get suspended, the players get suspended from having one of their better players on the court. So no, you don't only affect yourself, you affect the other 13, 14 girls in that room, plus the coaching staff. So now you put us in a situation last year where we had to win the SEC tournament to get in the tournament. because you missed key games that we didn't have enough to beat some of the girls. We lost her and Ron Howard, I think, together early in the season. So they got two of your best players on the sideline because y'all doing shenanigans. So more power to her because she's a really good player. I mean, she is a damn good player. You kind of gotta, when you mess up your bed, sometimes you gotta sleep in it. And she just gotta sleep in it. She's gonna have to sit out this year.
It was another question I had about another player. Stu was on her pretty adamant, man. You think if things don't work out, I just know how, what's your name is?
Stoops?
Stoops. If things don't work out for Rodgers, you think they ain't gonna bring him back? Cause it ain't looking good. Cause if you in the portal, if you was that dude, man, you'd have been like hotcakes. Hey, come on.
Now, we are fortunate to have played with a coach on the staff. So we are blessed and fortunate to have him come on here, right?
Right.
But you know damn well he wouldn't put himself in a bad situation to say something on our show that his boss haven't kind of shared the same sentiment. Yeah. And he was spicy tonight about Jordan Rodgers. So if you asking, I would say it's hell no. And before this show, I would have been like, you know what? They might let him on. Because you talked to me and said, whatever. I'm like, okay, I kind of agree with you. So they will put him on. If the hypothetical, but why would he want to come back? See, but now you put a crazy hypothetical. Why would he want to come back when he left? Because he don't want to be here.
Well, it ain't that he didn't want to be there. Bob Barker, you know what Bob Barker used to host?
The Price is Right.
That might have been a thing. Get to look at that's one thing I can't get on, and I think that's what I think is tearing up our basketball team. What you call it? Your boy Oscar out there, the black hole in the paint, talking about, hey, y'all gotta play harder out there. Hey, guard him. Yeah, here, throw, throw the ball in. And you making $1 million. Everybody's trying to get you the ball, but you told everybody need to play hard, and you sitting over there making $1 million NIL. And I just, you know, I done told you this a long time ago. It really ain't no way around it. The envy, and I'm not envious of nobody. But the one thing about NIL is no matter how hard I work, no matter what I do, just like I look at my final statistics in University of Kentucky folklore, is above a lot of people who's in the Hall of Fame.
Preach on it. Preach on it. Whoa. And your bowl stats don't count.
All I could do was put up numbers. I can't do nothing with those numbers.
And your bowl stats didn't count.
And my bowls, take everybody's bowl stats out. Let's see how this shit pan out. Like take the motherfuckers 3 and 4 bowl games.
Right.
But my point is, like NIL is just like once you get that, everything else don't matter. My thing was I just want like us, we just wanted to play ball.
Right.
So now it's kind of like that ain't even the thing. Like, so shit, your boy Oscar got his money. Like, well, y'all need a guard. Hey, y'all need a guard out there, man, because
right. But that's not always true. And that's what I love. Stu just said about Deion. Deion getting money, but Deion still loves football. He's still a football player. He's still in his books. He's still in the film room. He's still in the weight room. He's trying to get extra reps, even though he getting a payday. I don't know what it is, but I know one damn thing. If he ain't getting a payday, he fucking should be getting a payday. Right, somebody should be forking over some money for one of the best defensive linemen in the SEC. He just ain't a good defensive lineman for us. Right, he's one of the best defensive linemen in the conference, the best conference in college football. He's one of the best. And as Stu just said, that makes it even better. That MFer took the whole month of June off pretty much. Think about that. He came at, if I heard that correct, Stu said he went back home 4th of July. They graduated late. 4th of July, he came back. He had a month and a half. So basically, he had summer July, all of August. And that MFer came in here balling.
Right.
And now the conditioning staff is legit.
Now, if he brings somebody else in next year and inflation, and they get a little bit more, he's going to have that same drive. I don't doubt he will. But my whole point is, if it was me, I'm going to work my ass off so I can get that. The point is, the way this shit's designed, you really ain't.
But Anthony, hold on. How much is Dion making? I don't want to guess.
I have
NFL, don't guess. The NFL right now, $400,000 is league minimum. Dion Walker ain't league minimum. So whatever he's making, the NFL is more. Period. I don't care what he's making. The NFL is more. This little chump change, I know it's not chump change.
Damn near. Practice squad is like 4, ain't it?
That's what I'm saying. It's at least 4 something for league minimum. So I understand, and this is the great part about it. Is that is that $700,000 a year? That's $700,000 over the next.
No, I think he said league minimum $700,000.
Oh hell, shit!
That is a league minimum because I take it 6 something.
Oh, so it's $700,000 league minimum. You ain't making that in college. You ain't making as a D lineman. You ain't making that much, right? So now that's league minimum. Dion Walker is better than league minimum. So your goal, and it seems like Dion has it. My goal is to get up to the big piece of the pie, not this little slice, not this little sliver. I want the whole pie, and to get the whole pie, you got to work your ass off.
Cobby Cobb said, "We think about the championship game. You think Alabama should have been in it? You think that's going to sway them? You think that do you think that's going to sway them in the future for them to put a team that they know? You know, who was that? Boise State went through that for a long time in the mid 2000s.
Yeah. They went there
a long time. Like, they might get them there. Then they beat did they beat Adrian Peterson?
They beat Oklahoma, I think.
Yeah, that was one when the dude did the hand behind his back. Yeah,
the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna say this, and this is you have, and it's hard, right? This is what's so great about football, college football. Every week matters. You can't bullshit and lose a game early. I don't give a damn who it is. Alabama lost 2 games. I understand they only lost by like 4 points, but they still lost 2 games, right? Alabama didn't make it to the conference championship game. So now, if we just go off the regular season, TCU goes undefeated. TCU played an extra game. So you can't penalize them for
playing to beat Georgia though. Like they would have played and beat Georgia.
No. See, the thing about it is there's always a lot of times back in the day where the best football team didn't win the national championship. When we're just voting on it, people going to the Rose Bowl, going to the Sugar Bowl, going to the Orange Bowl, sometimes they face each other, right? The best team didn't always win. So you gotta in this game before this goes to 12 teams, you have to take care of the regular season. If Alabama losing to Tennessee, not that big a deal. Alabama losing to LSU, that's a huge fucking deal, and that hurt them. And they don't. It's not that they don't deserve it. The season, the resume plays out.
Cobby Cobb says 12-team playoff expansion could end up with a Final Four with 3 to 4 SEC teams in it.
Facts.
But I thought it had to be like, it was like 8 teams or 6 teams was picked, and the other ones was conference championship. Like the second 6 was conference championship.
Well, there's a 5 a pick. Is it 6?
I don't know. I know it had a lot to do with conference championships.
Yeah, so that's it. But here's the deal, right? if you look at it this year, especially if Heaton Hooker doesn't get hurt, Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia would be in the top 12. And Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama would have won games in that playoff. They would have been one and done.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of damn football. You play NFL schedule now. You play 16 games, 15, 16 games.
For sure. You're going to play at least 15. Well, 2 teams are going to play NFL schedule. Everybody else won't.
Yeah, that's true.
But here's the deal. All right. Think about this now that you bring this up. Right. Would you have some strategy now if you in college football? Would you want to play the conference championship game? That's one extra game.
You ain't gonna lose no games. You just ain't really gonna worry about it. I don't think you're gonna lose no games. We're the only conference that can really do that. The Big Ten,
right?
Right. If Michigan, Ohio State beat one another,
right?
The one that don't have to play in championship games is Gucci. Because you got a one loss, you gonna make it.
Well, that Big 12 is about to change their divisions now. They ain't gonna go with that damn Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota bullshit over there with Purdue.
They're doing the whole conference?
Yeah, they're gonna, yep. So top 2 teams are gonna go. So them days are Purdue and Indiana. Then Indiana make it a couple years ago, Minnesota. Them days are over.
Yeah. Yeah, then you stack it with all your good teams in one damn conference.
Yeah, who the hell did that?
Like, dude.
Who the hell did that? That was stupid.
But, all right, man. I know you ain't getting a whole good show in, but I've been going at it for 2 hours.
Yeah, man.
And we done had a good day. We done had a good run at it, man. We done had a good roll, man. I've said that a lot of times, man. We put together some shows, man. If y'all follow a podcast and just watching live stuff, like I'm involved in a lot of them, fans involved in a whole lot of them. But man, when you get motherfuckers like Larry Vaught to come on late, man, because he got the beat of the people. Then fucking coach come on, like was a controversial shit that's going on right now, like 5-star. I think Justin Rogers was like our number 4 or 5 in our recruiting history.
I think is he number 1?
I don't think. I don't know. I don't think he's number 1. He might be like, I don't know. I think Antonio. He was Justin was 5-star.
Yeah.
I thought Antonio Hall was 5-star as well. I thought he was the highest outside of Kentucky for a while.
I really think. I think Goodwin might have passed him up. But
that's terrible. You got to think shit. I think what's his name? Johnson, Micah Johnson. Like it's quite a few of them that was supposed to be the top that didn't pan out.
Facts.
That was back for our evaluation. Our evaluation process wasn't talking about nothing.
Facts. Yeah, it is what it is, but he was up there pretty high, for sure.
All right, man. People, we appreciate y'all, man. As usual, cup is empty. Tank is empty. I gotta go play the lottery. If I do play the lottery, we either gonna come up with I'm gonna buy a broadcast and y'all gonna see us on TV. Or if I make the lottery, y'all not gonna hear from me no more. I'm gonna go off the grid like JD. We are going to see you all next week on Wednesday. Everybody come back Wednesday. Like, subscribe, follow, share. Go follow Larry Vaught on Vaught's Views. Go follow Anwar Stewart at UK Football. Buy your season tickets. Sign NIL deal. And if they get former players NIL deal, sign that too. But like, subscribe, share, follow on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And we will be back next week. We appreciate you.